Well, Spirit Airlines shut down over the weekend, and now more than 24 of their planes are sitting in a boneyard in the Arizona desert. Again, that airline shutting down. Actually, it was a couple of weeks ago they did.
Yeah, the company left thousands of passengers stranded, flights canceled, and planes just sitting at airports with no pilots.
So 12 News journalist William Pitts talked to a man whose company was contracted to repossess all those planes on very short notice. Will.
There's just line after line of Spirit Airlines planes that are basically repos, flown out here to Goodyear by a guy who knows all too well what those pilots were going through. Spirit Airlines didn't own these planes. They were leased, $500 million worth. And Bob Allen with Nomadic Air says the leasing company wanted them back.
I got a call that said, pull the trigger, get flight crews out to all of these various airports. We're going to give you a list.
This morning at 3 a.m., Spirit Airlines ceased operations.
Spirit was circling the drain for months, but the shutdown was immediate. No gate agents, no call center. Some of the planes were just left at the gate.
They're literally just abandoned by Spirit at that point. They close the doors, the airplanes sit where they parked when they dropped off passengers.
But Bob and his team had to move fast. The planes were just sitting there. No maintenance, no security, no one checking to see if any angry employee did anything to them.
So we had 6 hours to find 20 pilots for that initial group of airplanes.
Where to find 20 pilots on short notice? Bob says he started with the closest available pilots, the ones who now used to work for Spirit. Spirit shut down while some of them were still in the air, while some of them were getting ready for flights. Bob may be the repo man, but he knows how that goes.
The reason I'm empathetic to all this is because I've been in the same situation 4 or 5 times. I was with airlines that closed their doors overnight. I woke up the next morning not having a job. I'm worried about, well, how am I going to make my mortgage? How am I going to make my health care? I had little kids.
Bob hired as many former Spirit pilots as he could and sent them around the country. You can't just walk in and take a plane. Doesn't matter who you are. Those pilots were in place, but they had to convince airport officials they really were allowed to take the planes.
So that starts involving us literally sending pilots knocking on doors of airport security, the airport authority, and saying, I'm here to pick up our airplane. And then the airport authority looks at you like you're completely crazy.
But with the right paperwork and money to fuel the planes, they were in the air, flying to Goodyear and Marana, where these Spirit planes are now sitting on the side of the runway. Bob says they may be leased or sold. Sometimes just the engines are leased, or they might be scrapped entirely. The remains of an airline grounded in the Arizona sun. William Pitts, 12 News.